That's a good question.
Those are significant milestones.
Oh, that's a great question. It was incredible.
So last season you had one of the best strikeout pitchers in the country, Autumn Courtney. How do you replace that kind of talent?
I think we've always had a good pitching staff. Autumn just kind of shined in her own way. But I think Coach V does a really good job of managing our staff. I'm not really too worried about the pitching staff. I think we'll be just fine in the circle.
What should girls, when they're looking for schools, what do you make sure they have when recruiting them?
One of the big things for us is our team culture. They have to like us, and we have to like them, and we have to want to keep you around, and you got to want to stay around for 4 years. So just them as people is one of the biggest things that we look for. Softball, we can teach you that for the most part, but for us, it's just them as people.
Absolutely. Sticking around is a big thing. You do have some transfers, though. Tell us more about these ladies.
We have one from UNC Charlotte. She's a local kid. She wanted to stay close to home, so that's what really brought her to Queens. But I think she's been a huge addition to our team in the outfield. Her name's Kaylin Garland.
So this July, the ASUN has transitioned to the divisional scheduling. What kind of impact do you think this will have on the season and the conference?
I think it'll be interesting. I think it's just going to differ year to year where the strength is really in the conference. I think our side will be really interesting. Lucky for us, we get to live in Florida for the spring, so that's cool. But outside of that, we have tough opponents on our side. We have UNF, we have FGCU, we got Jacksonville, so it should be pretty interesting.
Do you think with the lineup of the season, playing one of the higher teams and then going to one of the lower teams, do you think that'll have an effect on your team at all?
No, I don't really, we don't really harp too much about who's on the other side. Of course we do our film and prep for things like that, but we're not too worried about who's on the other side, because on any given day they could beat us. Even if they are the bottom team in the conference, they could beat us, and the same vice versa.
Last season you ended your season with a series win at Jacksonville, and you're going back to Florida. Then you defeated them in the first round of the conference championship. How do you build off success throughout the season?
Yeah, I think for us, I say this in probably every interview, is we just take games pitch by pitch, game by game. We don't really get too far ahead. So I think that's just, we'll just continue that trend through February, through March, and hopefully through conference tournament.
Do you guys have a lot of routines when it comes to film and things like that going into the season?
Yeah, we have the way that hitters do film study, the way that pitchers do film study. We all have our things that we do, but the girls have their own routines that they go through. I don't really get too deep into those. I let them just kind of do their thing. But yeah.
Have you changed anything from last year going into this year?
No, I think it's all the same. I think my approach to things is the same. Our staff is, we're pretty much sticking with what we know. So no, I don't think there's anything changing.
Might as well stick with what works.
Yep.
Connor Morardi joined the coaching staff this past fall. What does he bring to your team?
I think Connor has played a huge role when it comes to our offense. I'm the offensive coach, but he's helped tremendously in that area. I think the girls really gel with him really well when it comes to offense. And I think he's made strides with hitters that we are going to need to be an impact. So.
Absolutely. How is everyone adjusting to the construction going on down at the Stick?
Yeah, I think everybody's really excited about it. Me personally, I'm excited about it. I'm a little biased because I played 4 years on turf. But I think the girls are just excited to have something new, honestly. And then also to be able to get more games in, less rainouts. Our practices get canceled less, which they probably might not like that as much, but I do. But yeah.
Tell us more about it. Like, what's changing, what's happening, what are the advantages versus maybe even not having disadvantages to having a turf field?
Yeah. So I think everybody who plays on turf has a little bit of an advantage when it comes to people who come and visit, come and play at our place that play on dirt. I think it's just two different playing surfaces. So that's just something that you have to get used to. So I think that's an advantage for us when teams who play on dirt come to us and play. And then another advantage is, again, the rainouts. If we have a break in rain, we can play the game. Practices, of course, every coach loves practice. So we'll be practicing quite a bit. But other than that, I think it's just pretty standard.
As somebody who has no idea anything about softball, does it, like, it bounces off differently off of turf versus dirt?
It does.
Nice. Last fall, due to like the hurricanes, a lot of your team gathered together in Asheville and helped out a bit. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah. So that was actually all their idea. We had nothing to do with that as a coaching staff. They just kind of came to us with it and was like, as a team, this is something that we're interested in doing. And I was just like, okay, cool. Have fun. And they really enjoyed it. I think that was a good team bonding thing for them also. They're pulling logs out of a creek. I don't think they really knew what they were getting into, but they enjoyed it. They thought it was fun.
That's amazing, and that really shows what kind of girls you have on your team. Does anybody deserve a shout out on your team going into the season?
I think my entire roster does.
I love that.
I really got lucky with the team that I have. They all enjoy each other, and I enjoy being around all of them. So I think the entire roster, from top to bottom.
I love that.
Yeah.
What are your plans around community service for this spring?
Yeah. So we don't do too much community service in the spring. It's usually in the fall. That's when we really pack it in. But I don't know, if something presents it that fits into our schedule, we're open for it. I know one that I was interested in doing was having the girls go to the children's hospital and have the kids decorate their cleats and like their playing cleats, their game cleats. I think I've seen a team do it before, but I thought that would be cool.
That's an amazing idea. I love that. Anywhere to help.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing. Well, thank you so much, Coach.
Of course.
I love it.
Then he turns to you for answers. Before the stories that need telling are told, and our nation's biggest companies look to you to make their next big move. Whenever, however, you're called upon to step up, Queens will prepare you to do just that. Because here, Royals rise.
I made the better choice, and so can you.
From the bluegrass of Kentucky, the Arkansas River, to the beautiful beaches of Florida. From the bustling streets of Nashville to the soulful sounds of Muscle Shoals, and its vibrant cities. Fueled by growth, the Atlantic Sun operates in the fastest growing region in America and broadcasting in over 20 million homes. We're everywhere you want to be, with access to 9 of the nation's top 80 media markets, including an impressive 6 in the top 50. Our 12 member institutions provide every collegiate experience from public to private to faith-based. All of our member institutions are located in the top 30 states with the most rapid growth, including 8 members located in the top 6. From the beaches to the mountains, the Atlantic Sun is the destination.
The Eats on East project showcases the Royals pride that spreads through East Boulevard, walking distance from Queens University campus. Royals fans and visitors are encouraged to take a walk to the legendary East Boulevard to culminate the true Queens experience at a variety of restaurants. Home of the Coaches Show, JJ's Red Hots was the first East on East partner. The movement quickly grew as other partners joined, including Lebowski's, Showmars, Jersey Mike's, Bricks Pizza, Kid Cashew, and Penguins Drive-In. The Eats on East partners proudly support Queens and its mission to create and connect fans and families.
Before a city turns to you for answers, before the stories that need telling are told, and our nation's biggest companies look to you to make their next big move. Whenever, however, you're called upon to step up, Queens will prepare you to do just that. Because here, Royals rise.
Welcome to the Queens Coaches Show presented by OrthoCarolina. I'm here with the head of the women's lacrosse team, Coach McQuilkin. How are you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Good. How about these Queens snowfall, the Charlotte snow, winter wonderland?
I know. It's my first snow in Charlotte, and it actually started during practice last night, so it was pretty magical. Finishing up our night practice and then the snowflakes falling down. So
where are you originally from?
I'm from Maryland, so grew up with a lot of snow.
Yeah. I'm not too far from Maryland, Ontario, so I know that.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit of a preview of the season.
Yeah, the girls are back. We are in the middle of week 3 of preseason. So we play in 2.5 weeks. We open up with East Carolina here at Queens, but they're back, they're ready, they're working their tails off, really excited. It's year 3 of Division I, as it is for everybody else, so leaning on a lot of experience and then also some newcomers too. But yeah, they're excited. I'm looking forward to the season.
Tell us about some of these newcomers.
Yeah, so we brought in 12 freshmen. So this is our first full Division I recruiting class, and they've just been a wonderful addition. They've really bonded with the older girls, bonded with one another, just fully embraced the Queens family and atmosphere, Charlotte too. But they're just hungry to learn, which has been awesome. They're like, Coach, tell me what to do. How can I do more? What can I do better? And then they lean on the older girls too and just follow right in their footsteps. So they've been wonderful. You'll see some of them, especially in the midfield and on the back end too, on defense.
How about some of your captains? Tell us more about these and their leadership as or all 12 of these freshmen.
Yeah, so we have a lot of awesome leaders. I would say all of our upperclassmen, juniors, seniors, even sophomores. I mean, they've been there, done that. I think we've learned a lot in the last 2 years in the transition and since I've been here, and we're relying a lot on the lessons that we've learned. And when we have a learning moment, I'm like, hey y'all, we're here, let's learn it and let's build from it. And they've just done a tremendous job. But our captains, 3 juniors, Elise, Kay, and Bella, they've been on the field since their freshman year. They've just really dug in and pushed this team, and they just have great support from their fellow class and seniors too. Our senior group is really just influential. They want it, and it breeds from them, bleeds into the top from all the way down.
What kind of energy do they bring, and why did we choose them as captains for your team?
Yeah, that's a great question. They're cool, calm, and collected under pressure. I think having been on the field in all the moments of this Division I transition, Division I behind us, excited for the men's basketball team. We're hoping to follow in their footsteps, so we want to be number 1 as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but honestly, they've just been wonderful. They've been proven leaders, leading by example, and I want to hear from them in the heat of the moment. No doubt that they're going to lead this team to success, and again, they have really good fellow leaders around them too, just to support them. It takes a village.
You missed out on an ASUN tournament last season,
Yep.
but what do you need to change or fix for the next season to end up in the top 4?
Yeah, for sure. That's a great question. I guess 2-pointed answer, depth. That is something that we've needed since we've made this transition to Division I. It's something that we've really been talking about this year. We got to get the ones who are right off the bench ready to go. You never know when somebody's going to go down. You also never know when somebody needs a break, and you got to be ready when your number's called. We actually spoke about that last night at practice. But the other thing was that loss really. It stunk. It stunk, and it hit really close to home. I mean, I walked into the locker room and not really knowing what I was going to say after that loss at Lindenwood, and I walked into a room full of tears, not necessarily because of the loss, but because it was over, and that team was over. Our seniors are graduating and leaving, and this team came back with a vengeance. I think we really needed a hard loss in the midst of being so close to taste it. I think there were 5 teams that could have won last year, and that we missed out. It's really motivated this team. So hard in the moment, but I think it's one of those lessons in sports that really propels you forward.
I love that you said that you don't want anybody on the bench. You want when their number's called to get up and go at it.
Yeah.
What kind of things are you changing to make sure everybody is ready on the team?
Yeah, for sure. That's a great question. So we're doing more film sessions. We're doing more skill development on the field, small groups, individuals. Really just kind of just going for it in all areas, really.
The Dixon Field has new turf. How has this been treating your team so far?
Well, we welcomed them to some running in August on it, and they loved it. So not often you find 36 girls that love running, but it feels good. It's been just a wonderful addition to the complex over there. Much needed, and it's beautiful, bright green, surrounded by all those trees and pretty landscaping, but it's been wonderful.
Tell us some of the perks and advantages of being on a turf field.
Yeah, I think you can play in weather, which is nice. You can play in rain. Really the only thing we don't play in is thunder and lightning. So the ball's also pretty reliable when you get on a grass field with some of the bounces. It can kind of go which way and anywhere. So I would say it's the consistency piece of the field. Yeah.
Kayleen, the ASUN Player of the Week awards, she has 3 of them, Conference Player of the Year award, her impact as a junior so far this season. Tell us more about her.
Oh goodness, she just keeps getting better. I'm like, girl, how'd you do that? How did you get that ball in the back of the net? But she's so humble. You would literally never ever know the accolades that she's gotten talking to her. And she's hungry. She's always looking for ways to get better. Pretty obvious she's a hard, strong left-handed player, and I'm like, go to the right side, get better in your right. So we're always trying to find ways just to get her better. But it comes from within. She is so self-motivated. She wants feedback, she wants critiques, and she wants to win an ASUN championship more than she wants any accolades of her own.
Love that. And that's such a good example for all of those freshmen. Would you say they all look up to her, especially as the leader on the team?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Carson Sadler, friend of mine, works with our broadcasting team here at Queens, has been She is such a character. What's her role on the team?
Yeah, so Carson's role this year off the field is something new. I've never done it before. We meet in small groups within our team to work on emotional intelligence, and we call them pods, small groups, I don't know why, but she's our pod captain, so she has kind of an off the field captain role, and I think this role was made for her, to be honest. She's some of the glue. She inspires, she challenges her teammates off the field, and she's just instrumental with that piece, so can't go without giving her some props with that. And she's a goofball. We love her. She brings the energy, she brings the laugh, she brings the lightness, but she can also turn it on, and she's intense, and she's a competitor. So yeah, I'm smiling because she just makes me laugh. She's a fun person.
She's a great person.
Yeah.
Tell us more about these pods. I think that's an interesting approach.
Yeah, so something that I took from my first job out of college really helps us check in on the player, really more so like the person behind the player. We talk a lot about how are you doing physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all the stuff that's not on the field, and then are you struggling with anything? Are you homesick? What can we and how can we help support you off the field so you can be the best on the field? So I meet with them bi-weekly, and then they meet with themselves each week. So some of them go to dinner, some of them do extra work together, some of them will, go to the library and study together. So it's really just a way to foster relationships between different classes and positions as well.
So it's a great team bonding thing, but it's not between like just certain positions, it's everybody.
Yeah. So it's senior, junior, sophomore, freshman, as much as we can make it equal, we do.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
See all the Royals coaches live and in person during one of their many events held on the fields and courts of Queens University. All tickets for Queens home games can be purchased at queensathletics.com/tickets.
Every journey has a starting point. Each student has a moment when talent and passion meet opportunity. At the intersection of challenge and support, self-discovery fuels breakthroughs, and leaders emerge prepared for what's next. I grew up loving music. It possesses this very real, very unique power for connection and healing. And my journey as a music therapist took shape here.
I discovered the pool offered a more level playing field and the chance to push my limits. At Queens, there's so much opportunity, and our potential for greatness accelerates with every step of our collective journey.
I've always had a knack for chemistry, and that talent has magnified since I got here, rippling out in new directions. I'm not afraid to take risks. I believe challenges make us stronger, and innovation only comes when we're willing to lean into the unknown.
I'm still not sure what the future holds, but whatever it is, Queens has prepared me for it.
My professors push me in the classroom and believe in my abilities.
My coaches, professors, all of us, we're one team, one family.
Here, my voice is heard. I'm given the freedom to be myself and charter new opportunities for change.
Here, strength comes from within.
Practice makes perfect.
and curiosity knows no bounds.
I believe Queens graduates will create a better tomorrow. Where we go next? That's up to us.
Welcome to the Atlantic Sun, where heart-pounding moments are born and where champions rise above, where speed defies limits and precision finds its mark, where millions of fans nationwide cheer for excellence, determination, and fairness, where public, private, and faith-based schools compete side by side, fostering sportsmanship and unity. From the beaches to the mountains, the Atlantic Sun is the destination.
See all the Royals coaches live and in person during one of their many events held on the fields and courts of Queens University. All tickets for Queens home games can be purchased at queensathletics.com/tickets.
Welcome back to the Queens Coaches Show, presented by OrthoCarolina. I'm here with Coach Dragon. How are you doing?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Are you used to the snow out there?
Am I used to the snow out there? Oh, well, I cannot call it snow. It's just a little snow for me. It's coming from Montenegro. This is nothing for us. Basic winter.
So you're from Montenegro. Tell us how you got to Queens.
Oh, maybe the better question is how I got to America. So, just like a bunch of our international students here at Queens, we look for scholarships, opportunities to train and study at the same time. So 10 years ago, I decided to do the same thing. Ended up in school in Ohio, Tiffin University, then got my bachelor degree there in international business. Moved to Texas for my master, got Master of Business Administration there, Master of Coaching while being graduate assistant coach, and then Queens found me. That was in 2022, January. Ever since then, I've been here, first as associate head coach, and now as a director of the track and field program since July of the last year.
So you have just lived everywhere.
I guess so. I don't, we can call it like that.
You have been the director of track and field and cross country for about a year now. How's it been being an associate coach versus a head coach?
So as associate coach, you're just, right hand of the director of the program, and it was, I had only basically coaching duties. Right now I do coaching duties as well. Besides that, main duties, administrative duties. So a little bit challenge at the beginning because it was hard to manage both things at the same time, but that part of administration is actually not hard as well. It's just putting this together, making sure that you don't miss anything. Basically, being able to do both things at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So. Your specializations seem to be heptathlon, decathlon, and high jump.
Okay.
With multiple athletes being extremely successful in all of these events, what's it like to see your athletes succeed?
Well, for me, it's normal. When my athletes come out there and celebrate their PRs and screaming, jumping, hugging, I say, guys, relax, this is all normal, and this is the standard we set here at Queen's University. I do have a background in decathlon. I'm from a track and field family itself. My brother, my sister, my brother actually active decathlete. He was at the Olympic Games this past year in Paris. I still train and compete in decathlon for my country over there in the summer when I get a chance and compete in national meets. So I try to transfer this to my athletes as well. Basically, if you ask ordinary person what that training looks like, they think we're doing impossible stuff. But for us, this is completely normal. I try to transfer the same mentality, mindset to our athletes, and they're very successful. One of the most successful athletes here we have at the university, our track and field team. So very proud of them. I'm very proud of the work they put in every day, and I hope results speak for it better than I.
Do you work on a lot of the mental side of all of your athletes and all of their events?
Well, when it comes to mental side, I would say that I teach discipline more and how this is important, how this sport can translate to real life situations. And basically, I use our sport to also help them get through the school, because I always say if you show up in practice, if you do the work, you see the result. Same is with school. When it comes to specific mental, side, I rely more on our campus resources. I let them do their job, I do my job, and always here, of course, to support any of our student athletes. Not talking just about my athletes, my group. I see athletes from other sports around campus and always chatting with them, saying hi, creating the healthy atmosphere, around the campus.
As an international yourself and going to university as an international, do you like to recruit internationals, and are they able to look up to you in a way of being away from home and then having to do schoolwork and track as along with it?
Well, I think one of my biggest advantages when it comes to international recruiting is myself being international. Many of the other domestic coaches, when they recruit, they are not understood, if I can say it like that, completely when it comes by international students, because they haven't been to the same challenges that every international student has when it comes to the United States. So basically, when I came to this country, there were a bunch of challenges. I'm not talking about track and field, I'm not talking about school system. It's like just anything, not saying from the language, from food, from the way people communicate with you, people treat you and stuff like that. It's not saying that I had negative experience, but that was definitely something to get used to. So every international student, when it comes to international recruiting, has a bunch of those questions. And one of them, major question is, how is it different from home? And then you tell them, and you tell them how did you get through this, and they feel safe and comfortable coming to you, to your school. What I'm really proud of is I never failed to sell that experience, and all of my athletes actually have a great time. My goal is for them to have as great time as I had, and I think in fact they have even better time. So, which makes me really happy, makes me come happy to work, makes me be excited to come see them every day, and stuff like this. So.
Are they able to, some of your freshmen coming in who might be internationals, are they able to look up to some of the seniors and juniors who are also?
Definitely. I can say all of my freshman international athletes know as much as I knew when I was sophomore, when I was senior as an international student. Because at that time, we didn't have many international students in my first school compared to what we have here, not just in the team. In general, whole student body is very international here at Queens. So those guys figured it out together. Again, makes me really proud of them, and makes me not worry about their future, because when they figure it out that quick, future is theirs.
Give us a little bit of the preview for this season. What are we looking at?
We're looking at a bunch of school records, a bunch of top 10 marks, looking at the most successful year ever at Queens. In the past 3 years, we have been just getting better and better each year. My first year here was the best year in the history of Queens. When we were Division 2, we were ranked top 10 in indoor nationals. Last year, or 2 years ago actually, we were better than previous year with having 5 ASUN medals. Then last year we had 11 ASUN medals. I'm looking at a number of 20 plus this year. So, and looking to be 25, 30 plus next year. It's a long-term goal. I'm not, easy come and easy go guy. It's not easy to build a strong team, and we're taking it little by little. So I think realistic goal for this season is more medals than last year, more school records than last year, and more top 10 marks compared to the last year. And better placement on the conference meets, indoor and outdoor, compared overall as a team compared to the previous year, which was 5th place last year. This year, I think realistically, anywhere from 3rd to 4th place in both genders.
Tell us about some of these medalists.
Good people, good athletes, great relationship. I mean, all of our athletes, I'm not trying to single out anyone, all of our athletes are really very great individuals, respectful group, great students. By the way, our cross-country team had the highest GPA in the first semester. The other day we had a media day, and one of the media guys, he said, man, you're lucky to have this team. This is one of the best group to be around, and I can agree with that. So those athletes help each other every day. Those athletes make my job easier. They are motivated to train, to work, to compete, represent their families, countries, schools, cities, high schools, whatever. At the end of the day, they try to represent their coaching staff as well. We have very good coaching staff as well. So that speaks about our team.
Is there anything you guys would like to improve on?
I think we're doing a good job so far. If I sit down and think what is the area we have to improve, I honestly have nothing to think about. I think we're all doing a great job and getting better year after year. So.
There has been a lot of improvement over the last few years of the Queens track and field. So your biggest goals are more medals, more records. Is there anything you'd like to see on more of a personal level?
So you said our biggest goals. I think season goals is more medals and more personal records. I think the ultimate goal is us winning conference championships and on both gender, on both indoor and outdoor, hopefully cross country too at one point, and being there for good. So I think it's not an impossible thing. I think it's very realistic. It's going to take a little bit of time. Again, I don't want to just get somebody for 1 year and win conference and disappear and then have the team that is next year 5th or 6th. I build it little by little. We are building it strong culture. And again, as you mentioned earlier, our freshmen look up to our sophomores, seniors, upperclassmen. And when you build culture like that, you simply can't fail. Again, every year we are better and better, and this is the way to win conference championship.
Do we have any newcomers that we should be looking out for?
A lot of them. We have a lot of them. We had actually in our first meet, ASUN Freshman of the Week. We had ASUN Runner of the Week and ASUN Field Athlete of the Week. And to be honest, there was supposed to be one more athlete out there, which is for any reason didn't get voted for. But there's a rest of the season to rest 3-4 months. I'm not sure how many. To get our name out there, and we're going to see at the end of the year who are going to be ASUN Athletes of the Year, who's going to be ASUN Athletes of the Year, not just of the week. We have those people here.
I love that. Those are amazing goals.
Right.
We'll come right back after this break.
I made the better choice, and so can you.
Before a city turns to you for answers, before the stories that need telling are told, and our nation's biggest companies look to you to make their next big move. Whenever, however, you're called upon to step up, Queens will prepare you to do just that. Because here, Royals rise.
Get ready for the ASUN Women's Soccer Championship. Watch the top teams battle it out for the crown and a ticket to the NCAA tournament. Catch all the action live starting October 31st on ESPN+.
The Eats on East project showcases the Royals pride that spreads through East Boulevard, walking distance from Queens University campus. Royals fans and visitors are encouraged to take a walk to the legendary East Boulevard to culminate the true Queens experience at a variety of restaurants. Home of the Coaches Show, JJ's Red Hots was the first East on East partner. The movement quickly grew as other partners joined, including Lebowski's, Shomar's, Jersey Mike's, Rick's Pizza, Kid Cashew, and Penguins Drive-In. The Eats on East partners proudly support Queens and its mission to create and connect fans and families.
Here, strength comes from within.
Practice makes perfect.
and curiosity knows no bounds.
I believe Queens graduates will create a better tomorrow. Where we go next? That's up to us.
Her or the camera?
Welcome to the Queens Coacher Show presented by OrthoCarolina. I'm here with Coach Leonard and Chris. How are you guys doing?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Coach, you have one of the best basketball teams in Charlotte. What's led to this early success in the season?
Honestly, great senior leadership. This guy's one of them right here. Chris he actually isn't much of a talker as a leader, but he's more of a show by action. But unbelievable practice pace that he has, the best I've ever coached. And a bunch of other senior leaders, Leo and Malcolm and Jackson, do an unbelievable job making sure that our guys bring it every day.
What kind of things are you looking for them to bring? Like, what are these guys bringing to the table?
First of all, you got to be an everyday guy, which Chris is for sure. But second, you've got to lead by example. And then third, you got to bring positive energy every day. And so mistakes are going to happen in the game, mistakes are going to happen in practice, but how you react to adversity is really how it determines how we're going to be.
Some go-getters. Scouting report of North Carolina is tomorrow night. North Florida.
Yeah. The Ospreys there are called the Birds of Trey. And they shoot more threes than anyone in the country. So they're going to come out here, all 5 guys on the floor are going to shoot threes, and they're going to try and spread you out. And if we allow them to hit a bunch of threes, it's going to be a tough game. And so we've got to do a great job of controlling the glass and keeping them from being comfortable.
Nice. Chris, you had 8 threes in a game. That's at the most in Queens D1 era. How big did that hoop look?
Yeah, it looked pretty big. It just showed all the work I put in, before practice and in the morning with coaching staff.
Every morning,
yes,
every day,
every morning, every day.
What does it feel like when everything is working so well for your shot?
It feels great. Everything flows, the defense feels good, the offense, everybody spread out, and it feels great.
Do you feel like your freshmen and guys coming in look up to you when you're there every day repeating?
Yeah, we got a freshman, my band, he's in the gym with me like every morning with me and Coach Bulldog working on our shots.
Coach, so many of your guys have each had impactful weeks and games. How's it seeing your play show up and succeed?
I mean, it's a testament to their work. We're a player-first program, and watching guys, accomplish their goals is huge. Malcolm Wilson leading the nation in blocks, and Leo being National Player of the Week on multiple different voting systems, and seeing Bryce develop as a point guard, and seeing Chris break the three-point record. All of it is awesome to watch, and to see them accomplish their goals and dreams is a huge deal.
Home stretch, 4 games. How will you benefit your teams and your players?
Sleeping in their own beds, being comfortable, shooting on their own rims, having their family and friends there. Our home record the last few years has been fantastic. We're 6-1 this year. Last year we were, I think, 11-3. And so home cooking is great for our guys, and I'm excited that we get 5 of the next 6 at home, and that'll get us 2/3 of the way through conference, and it really will determine where we sit at the end of the year, this 5 out of 6 homestand.
Do you think there is a big impact of having a homestand? All of our coaches sections usually full, or student sections usually full, having the guys at home?
Yeah, it's a big deal. Huge energy. I thought the Western Carolina game, that they definitely rattled Western Carolina, and so I love to see the student section, the Lion's Den or the Jungle, whatever you guys want to call it. I love to see it roaring and rock, the place is rocking, and that makes a huge difference to the energy of our guys.
There has been a bunch of interviews this past week. How has that been? What's the press like?
The press is fun. I try and have fun with it and keep it light and really highlight our players as much as I can. And I think it's their program, and we do this for them. And so it's nice for them to have a spotlight and to see that they're getting the attention that they've worked and deserved for.
Tell us more about your background. Like, where do you come from? How'd you get here? And creating some of these plays?
Originally from Wisconsin. So I was born in Chicago, but grew up in Wisconsin. So I'm a Packer fan, a Bucks fan, and a Brewers fan. but I've lived all over. Went to college in Iowa, coached in Maryland, Texas, Florida, Georgia, and now here in North Carolina for 12 years. And but Charlotte's home now, and I love being in Charlotte. And met my wife here, and so excited to call Charlotte home.
As a shooter, you sometimes go through streaks, hot streaks, and cold streaks. How do you get out of a cold streak?
Just really staying with it, you know, being confident in my shot. My coach staff and my teammates, they really build me up and keep me going.
Thanks. And I guess, how do you stay in a hot one?
Just keep with the same shot, you know, keep doing what I'm doing.
The only time I ever yell at him is when he doesn't shoot. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for watching our Queens Coaches Show.
Does that wrap it up?